Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahshua Hara Chakadash. Double honors to apostles, a great millstone, and salutations to your elect, which you ought to be. Now, it's your brother Hawaii. Got a quick lesson for you Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, and Israelites. You better shame of looking like heathens who spit bear witness that they're a child of Heavenly Father. In the name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh, who the world inly calls Jehovah, God or Yahweh. In the name of the Heavenly Son is Yahweh Shai, who the world inly calls Jesus Christ or Jesus Christos or Yeshua. So I got a quick lesson and stuff. Any other precepts come out, you already know it's the Holy Spirit. It's the Holy Spirit, whether you believe it or not. And, as you can see the different judgments and stuff, you know what I'm saying? You can't just be sitting in your car, you can get into an altercation and whatnot and stuff, you know what I'm saying? You could exchange words and stuff. And nowadays and stuff, shoot, you could even spit on the fire and stuff, and somebody else would be just too enraged and stuff to try to go off on you and stuff, you know what I'm saying? People are becoming, the tolerance and stuff is down the drain, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, anything sparks that fire real quick. You know what I'm saying? And misunderstandings and negotiations and stuff is all out the door. You know what I'm saying? Unless the Lord is with you and stuff, you see, right? But for those that the Lord ain't with, the 2/3 of Israel, you know what I'm saying, the heathens and whatnot, you seeing what's happening. Now you are gonna have certain elect men, you know what I'm saying, and or women, you know what I'm saying, or children as well. Uh uh um there's not really an age and stuff who do believe in Yahweh Shem Yahshai. You know what I'm saying? That's of the elect, which is the 144,000, which consists of 12,000 men, the 12 tribes of Israel, the government body, and the rest of the 1/3, which consists of men, women, and children who are Israelites who believe, no matter how they look, and convert to keep the law, statutes, commandments to the best of their ability, making with faith, repenting every day, and not cherry picking what they want to repent on, and repenting on a timely fashion in the Lord's time before it's too late, who are predestined and stuff, before in pre- who are predestined, you know what I'm saying, from the get-go, right? Some of us, yeah, we are, our lots and stuff is to die and stuff, but the thing is that, before that, our last step comes and stuff, you know what I'm saying, the Lord is going to protect us and whatnot and stuff, and the scriptures are going to work in our benefit, you know what I'm saying, you see, right? But, I also want to make mention and stuff about this, you got, this, um, there's there's a channel called God WTF, you know what I'm saying? And then it's another one, it's called Harp, and it's all caps, HAARP, you know what I'm saying? And it's another one, I think it's, for when I just saw it and stuff, I think it's called RTZ TV or something like that, right? And then you got the regular news and stuff, you know what I'm saying, which really talk about local things. And then you got different international news too, you know what I'm saying? Because I think they already took RT down and stuff, but then when it come down to like, well, especially on YouTube and stuff. I don't know about any other platforms, you know what I'm saying? But it's, and what's going on and stuff, calamity is increasing, you know what I'm saying? Things are getting worse, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure the Lord is laughing at a lot of individuals, you know what I'm saying? When they fear come, you know what I'm saying? Because they decide to trust in the government instead of trusting the Lord, you know what I'm saying? And look what's happening, it's damn near, any Grand Theft Auto, Grand Theft Auto 3 on up. You know what I'm saying? It's a cheat code when you put in chaos mode, when everybody goes nuts and ballistic. And that's exactly what's going on. You know what I'm saying? You see, you know, and, uh, yes, we had, all Israel as a whole and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Where, uh, 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 we all broken the covenant and whatnot and stuff. But when we broke the covenant and stuff, right, which was a promise and a vow that all of Israel had broken, you know what I'm saying, right? The thing is that men, women, and child and stuff, right? The thing is that uh, um, uh, with us breaking the covenant and stuff, that means that we was following another way. You know what I'm saying? And uh, 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 fornication or to be profane and stuff means unholy outside the temple, and the only ones who wield or follow, you know what I'm saying, laws and instruction, you know what I'm saying, that's unholy are the heathens, you know what I'm saying, right? you know, and look where it's got us. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing but violence, right? So this is Joel 9:24. It says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. You know what I'm saying? Who faces on the money, whose superscription is on the coin and the dollar bill. You know what I'm saying? Right? Caucasians, full blood and spirited Caucasians. You know what I'm saying? You got George Washington. I don't know who it is, who old boy is on the dime. You know what I'm saying? I think that's Benjamin. I think Benjamin. No, who is it? You whatever and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You got Abraham Lincoln and stuff. You know what I'm saying? He didn't free the slaves. All he did was emancipation and stuff. All it did was transfer the slaves. All he did was made a transfer of property. You know what I'm saying, right? And the thing is that I think it's USA in all caps and stuff means that it's a corporation. And with that being the case and stuff, instead of just somebody owning individual slaves and stuff underneath their name and stuff, it was transferred with the United States and stuff, would own the captives, which also means that you're still slaves today. But besides that, the hands, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked, you see, right? And what vibration you think they're going to be in. So when you're going to say the word wicked, it's the word rashai, which means morally wrong, concretely an actively bad person, condemned, guilty, ungodly, wicked man or woman that did wrong. Right? Or is doing wrong. So it says the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. So this is the vibration, meaning that they was going to control the world. They was going to be at top. And this is the vibration that they're going to be in. You see, right? And then when it comes down to the nation of Israel, the scripture says that we are the salt of the earth. And what does salt do? Salt, actually, I'm going to grab it. Yeah, I'm going to grab it. This is Matthew 5:13. It says, ye are the salt of the earth. So we make everything better. Right? We increase we increase we make things better. Even wrong things as well. Right? So I'm gonna grab this. This is Jeremiah 5:28, and it's referring to the nation of Israel. Right? It says they are waxing fat, they shine, yea, they overpass the deeds of the wicked. You're going to say the word overpass, it's the word ibar, right? And it says to cross over, to cover, alter, all beyond. And what Elder Apostle Hart been saying and stuff, he been calling the wickedness of Jake lately and stuff, beyond niggas. Right? It says conduct over, make, so on and so forth, right? Beyond, right? So they go beyond than the wicked. So we already know that Esau, Edom is wicked and stuff. But then since Jake is the salt of the earth, Negroes, Latinos, and natives and Israelites who outward appearances that are for heathen, right? Who spirit bear witness that their child of Heavenly Father, like it says in Romans 8:16. With that being the case and whatnot and stuff, they, Esau comes with his wickedness and stuff, but then Jake would make it even worse. He putting salt in the wrong area, in the wrong vibration and stuff, and that is in wickedness. You see, Scripture says in Isaiah 5:20 and stuff, that they call good evil. Righteousness, they call it evil. But they call evil good, and it's the ways of this world. But who set up this world the way that it is? Whose rules and regulations and stuff of this world? Esau, Edom. And he's the basis of men. Like it says in Matthew, I believe the 12th chapter or the 23rd chapter. You see, he is the basis of men. And the thing is that with him being base and stuff, his morals is off, man. Low vibrations, right? Right. And Jake followed that, right? So this is Psalms. Actually, I'm gonna go back to the Joel 9:24, because this is also a vibration and stuff that he puts on Jake. This is Joel 9:24 again. It says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. What is that? Identity theft. You know what I'm saying? Iconoclasm. You know what I'm saying? Saying that the Most High is Caucasian, saying that Yahweh Shai is Caucasian, saying that the chosen people and stuff are Caucasian and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Right? And right and Jake do that as well because that's the vibration that breathes off. You know what I'm saying? Esau Edom knows who the Israelites are and stuff, but the thing is that he want to maintain rulership. So what was his idea and stuff is that guess what? They need not to know who they are. You know what I'm saying? So we can reconstruct them and stuff to live in a way, you know what I'm saying, where they will feel, which I'm not going to jump the gun, but I tend to do so. So this is Psalms 82 and 5. It says, and this is within a rule. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the last kingdom. Now, you also had other captivities as well. But if you followed after their ways and stuff, you know what I'm saying? It was to maintain destruction, like King Antiochus and stuff. You know what I'm saying? He wanted the one world government, one world order. You know what I'm saying? And what happened? He had said that everybody had to discontinue from their laws and whatnot and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And everything, especially when it came down to the Israelites. But everybody had to discontinue from their laws and stuff. And then they had to sacrifice certain things and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Unlawful foods and whatnot and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know, just to have power over Israel. That's why the truth and people waking and Israelites waking up to the truth, no matter how they look. You know what I'm saying? It's such a severe problem and stuff because then that means that their judgment is nigh. You know what I'm saying, right? So back in Psalms 82 and 5, it says, they know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course because the Lord already said how things need to be and stuff. And what did Esau Edom do? He flipped that over. He's contrary. You know what I'm saying? To come against. You see, he represents the flesh. And like like the Lord told his forefather Cain, he said in Genesis 4 and 7, if thou doest well, thou shalt be accepted. Thou doest not well, sin lie at the door. You know what I'm saying? And all he's been about was of his belly and stuff. But look how perverse Esau Edom's belly is. You know what I'm saying? It's all wickedness. You're finding out what's actually going down in Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? What was going on when it came down to the children and stuff, and then look what's across the world. Now, there's certain lawful things that's there and stuff, but the thing is that uh, um, you know, it's a lot of it's more unlawful things. Or say it's something that's lawful and stuff, they use in an unexpedient way. You know what I'm saying? Or what they'll do is that they'll turn it into complete wickedness. You know what I'm saying? Meaning that they're not going to keep the law, statutes, commandments. You know what I'm saying? Because the Bible's not for them. You know what I'm saying? Right? Right? It says, and the earth is out of course. You know what I'm saying? Right? Let me see. It says it's the word mawat. It means be out of course, be fallen and decay. The scriptures talk about let me see. I think it's Jeremiah. It's Jeremiah 50. Jeremiah 15 and 23, it says, how is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations and stuff, and this place is weak. You know what I'm saying? First it was the golden city and stuff, so on and so forth and whatnot, even though it was wickedness going on in there, you know what I'm saying? But then at the same time and stuff, look what's happening. It's just getting weaker and weaker. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is destroying this place right before their faces and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Breaking these strongholds, right? So I want to get this. This is Psalms, and pretty much what I'm doing is I'm throwing it in you heathens' faces. You know what I'm saying, to prove that y'all ways probably work for y'all, but it doesn't work for Israel. You know what I'm saying, and then and even why if it works, even though it works for you, you know what I'm saying, but then don't work for Israel. Israel, when it come down to the wickedness and stuff, you know what I'm saying, that you all promote, you know what I'm saying, what you all have promoted was you all's own ways. You know what I'm saying? And that's partaking the violence that's within this world. So this is Psalms 83 and 1. It says a song or psalm of Asaph. It says, keep not thou silence, O power. It says, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thy enemies make atonement, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones, which are the Israelites. It says, verse 4. It says, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. And this is why they so this is why the heathens and stuff in high positions always care about the children. You know what I'm saying? You know, and it's if you ever seen that movie, it's called Bury My Heart and Wounded Knee. You know what I'm saying? With Sitting Bull and Red Cloud and stuff, just to name a few, right? The Nation of Gad, Native American Indians. You know what I'm saying, right? You had this boy, he was like real strong gun hold and stuff, you know what I'm saying? They was in those in those reserves. You know what I'm saying, right? If I'm saying it right. In the reserves. I think it's called the reserves. You know what I'm saying? You know, and you know, and pretty much, you know, you had this little boy. He was strong in his heritage and whatnot and stuff. You know what I'm saying, right? And then what they did was that they took his father and stuff, and his father came back to him dressed all like one of the colonizers and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And his son looking at him like, why you dressed like that? You know. And pretty much what they did was is that they got to his father and stuff to pretty much denounce his heritage and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know, and the mom, you know, she just going with the flow and whatnot and stuff, right? Because she the weaker vessel, and the mom is even though they're still a warrior, a warrior race and stuff, right? The mom is like, look, if you keep going on about your heritage and stuff, they're gonna kill you, and she's scared of loss. You know what I'm saying? You know, so she was gonna comply as well. You know what I'm saying? Just like the father. And if I can, I'm gonna grab this because you're gonna have certain Israelites, and you have Israelites. Well, Salakia, what happens is that even if you know your heritage, no, I'm gonna keep it right here. Even I'm gonna just quote it. Even if you do keep your heritage and whatnot and stuff, the thing is that they go for the newer generation and stuff, so they can get taught the wrong ways. And what ways do you think they're gonna teach them? The ways that they know how to handle. They're not gonna give them some other bullshit that's foreign that they don't understand. You know, they're gonna give them the stuff that they know. The heathen's gonna give Israelites the new generation stuff that they know and whatnot and stuff to keep them going off. You know what I'm saying? So they don't know. That's why they want to keep them away from the scriptures because they get to maintain power and stuff, right? But it's part of the prophecy that this word is going to be pushed to the four corners of the earth, like it says in Matthew the 24th chapter, where back in Psalms 83 and 4, it says, they have said, come and let us come. I mean, it says, and they said, and they, like it says, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. Right? It says, verse 5, it says, for they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, because it's not just Esau, Edom. It says, now I don't know all of them, but this is the tabernacles of Edom. It says the tabernacles of Edom, you know what I'm saying, you know, which is Esau, the full-blooded spirited Caucasians. It says in the Ishmaelites, which are the so-called Arabians. It says of Moab, which is so-called Chinese. It says in the Hangarines. It says in Cabal, and it says in Ammon, the so-called Japanese, and the Amalekites, which like how and the Amalekites are the fake Jews. You know what I'm saying? Because all throughout the scriptures and stuff, it refers to the nation of Israel as Jews or Israelites, not Israeli or Jewish. You know what I'm saying? You see, right? You know, and the black hats. You know what I'm saying? The ones who like wearing the yarmulkes and whatnot and stuff, right? You know, uh, uh, um, because that's not even found in the scriptures to do that. You know what I'm saying? You know, whether you're a woman, you know what I'm saying, got your head covered. You know what I'm saying? When you're praying and whatnot and stuff and doing this and doing that, because it says that a woman's supposed to do that, you know. But most of them, you know, they just go by the Talmud. You know what I'm saying? The Old Testament and stuff, right? And the thing is that where did you get the yarmulke being placed right over the cranium, right at that spot and stuff. That comes from the New Testament, which they say that they don't. Most of them say that they don't really believe. You know what I'm saying, right? Uh, um, showing that they're contrary. You know what I'm saying, right? So what do they teach? Their ways, right? So uh, uh, and those are the Amalekites, the rich Jewish banking, the elites, the Rothschilds, the Gettys, the DuPonts, the Oppenheimers, the rich Jewish banking families. You know what I'm saying, which is known as the elites. You know what I'm saying, the real rulers of this world. You know what I'm saying, right? And who own the central banks and stuff. You know what I'm saying, these are the false flaggers. These are the ones who commit identity theft. You know what I'm saying? Who are hypocrites within their own constitution. You know what I'm saying? You see, because identity theft, you know what I'm saying, it's fraud, it's fraudulent. You know what I'm saying? It's all types of crimes and stuff that will land you a quick felony. But here it is and stuff, they're doing it and stuff. But since they control the world and stuff, they get to do whatever they want because this is their time to rule and stuff, but it's crashing down before their faces, right? So it says the Amalekites, and once again, like how the head tribe of the nations of Israel is Judah. The head tribe of the Edomites and stuff are Amalek, right? And the Lord said that He will have war with them from year to year, from time to time. It says the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre, Ashur, which are the Assyrians, also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot, Salah. You know what I'm saying, right? And there's others too and stuff, right? But just to name a few, you know, you had all these other heathens and stuff that was down with the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Because right. So I'm gonna keep reading. Right. So with this being the case, you know, they had part in bringing this to come to pass, even though it was part of the curses. But the Lord uses vessels, you know what I'm saying, for these things to happen. You don't just, you know, down the time don't know what to do anymore. Like you never forget how to sit down in a chair or tie your shoes or put on shoes or put on a t-shirt, you know what I'm saying, or put on pants. You know what I'm saying? Once you learned one day, well, I learned it and whatnot and stuff. The thing is that they was going after the next generation and stuff and trying to die it down and stuff till it was no longer remembered. This is Jeremiah 17:4. It says, and thou, even thyself, and the Lord is talking to Jeremiah, meaning that because Jeremiah, even though the Lord was talking to him, Jeremiah knew that he was from the tribe of Levi. He knew that he was a Hebrew Israelite. So this was going to be a future prophecy for him. You know what I'm saying? Right at the time when the Lord had told him. You know what I'm saying? Right. But it's not with just him. It's going to be for all Israel. Right. That's why we needed to be brought back in remembrance. That's why the scripture says about being brought back in remembrance. It says, Jeremiah 17:4, it says, and thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee. It says, and I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in the land which thou knowest not, for ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever, because we came against the Lord. You know what I'm saying? All of Israel did. You know what I'm saying? And this is the punishment of all Israel. That's why till this day you got Israelites and stuff that still want to call themselves black, African American, Mexican, Puerto Rican, Cuban, Argentinian, Chilean, you know what I'm saying, Brazilian, Bolivian, you know what I'm saying, Bosnian, Ecuadorian, Dominican Republic, you know what I'm saying, Haitian, uh, uh, um, um, uh, 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 um, Venezuelan, Mayans, you know what I'm saying, which is not, Zebulon called themselves Mayans and whatnot and stuff, but that's still not their original names. Their original names would be Zebulon, uh, um, uh, Guatemalan, you know what I'm saying, uh, um, um, West Indians, Jamaican, Trinidadian, Native American Indian, Semio Indian, you know, just yeah, Cuban, and that's Manasseh and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Just to name a few, you know what I'm saying, and then you also got the other ones and stuff that's been scattered to the four corners of earth who probably calling themselves German, calling themselves Caucasian, or calling themselves white, calling themselves Alaskan and stuff, and calling themselves after the countries that they in and whatnot and stuff. And it says in Ecclesiastes, I'm gonna grab this right quick. Actually, I'm finished with this. This is Ecclesiastes I think it's 4. No, it's 4:16. It says, "There is no end of all the people." It says, "Even of all that have been before them." It says, "They also that come after shall not rejoice in him." Surely this also is vanity and vexation of spirit, right? So when it says there's no end of the people, whoever the Lord had called, all the people that He created and whatnot, that's still their names. You know what I'm saying? But this was part of their heritage being taken away as well. You know what I'm saying? But mostly residing towards the chosen line. You know what I'm saying? All the way up to them becoming the Israelites. You see, right? Right. So uh look what happened. You know what I'm saying? It's just nothing but violence. But guess what? Is the most of this violence and ways to cheat this and cheat that and stuff, those are the ways of the heathens. You know what I'm saying? And you got people and stuff on the news, they just, I don't know why this is happening. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it's part of prophecy and stuff, but besides that, look at it this way too. Look at the way that you have learned. You have learned the ways of the heathen. You know what I'm saying? Right? Right? It's always two and two. It's always good versus evil, which I grabbed that right quick. This Sirach Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 33, verse 14. And it says, good is set against evil and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner and the sinner against the godly. Verse 15, it says, so look upon all the works of the Most High, and there are two and two, one against another, because the Lord is a balanced power. You know what I'm saying? So with that being the case, Esau Edom wanted to take away the good and stuff, and with him doing that and stuff, all he did was destroy himself. You know what I'm saying? All he did was mess himself over. You see, right? So this is Sirach 41 and 5. It says the children of sinners are abominable, meaning disgusting, detested. You know what I'm saying? Deeply not liked. Children. It says, and they that are conversant in the dwelling of the ungodly, meaning that they like wickedness, right? And the earth, remember, the earth is given to the hands of the wicked, right? Meaning that it's like a like you would not see you won't see a vampire, which they actually are, but you wouldn't see a vampire, uh, 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 you know, uh, 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 you won't see him around like a bunch of garlic. You know what I'm saying? Or say if he got a victim where he about to suck some blood and stuff, and he smell that they blood is enriched with garlic and stuff, he ain't gonna touch them. You know what I'm saying? And when it come down to the original vampires versus all this new stuff, but when it come down to the original vampires and stuff, guess what? They not trying to go out in sunlight and stuff. You see, you know what I'm saying? They get destroyed. And Esau Edom literally gets destroyed by the sun. That's why they need sunscreen. They like eating bloody meat. You know what I'm saying? Right? You know what I'm saying? It's in their nature. They're the true vampires. Right? And it says, full blood and spirited Caucasians. That's what I mean. Right? From Mount Petra. Right? It says, they, um, they're not gonna want to follow the ways of righteousness and stuff. They're gonna abstain from it as filthiness. You know what I'm saying? Right? Right? It says Sirach 41:6, it says the inheritance of sinners children shall perish. It says, and their prosperity shall have a perpetual reproach. The children will complain of an ungodly father. It says, because they shall be reproached for his sake, shamed. You know what I'm saying? And the scripture says in Sirach 4:21 is there's a shame unto sin, but then it's a shame unto glory and grace. But what Esau has brewed in the minds of Israelites and stuff is the shame unto sin. You know what I'm saying? And all this different violence and whatnot and stuff is going on and stuff is because they know the ways of the heathens. You kept them away from their actual heritage and stuff, you know what I'm saying, thinking it was going to benefit, but all it did was end up biting you in your ass, you know what I'm saying. And what's going on, all this violence and stuff is going on because you wanted to teach Israelites the ways of the heathens, you know what I'm saying, right? Right, so it says, verse 8, it says, woe be unto you, ungodly men, which have forsaken the law of the Most High, power, Yahweh, for if ye increase, it shall be to your destruction. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? You have brain brainwashed with dirty water the minds of Israel. You know what I'm saying? So they wouldn't know who they are and stuff because you thought you would have the upper hand. But look how it turned out. You know what I'm saying? The scriptures refer to Israelites who don't want to follow their own heritage and the law, statute, commandments to the best of their ability. You know what I'm saying? He referred them to as heathens. You know what I'm saying? As you heathens. You see, and uh, um, this is and well, how they acting. They acting like the heathens because that's all they know. You know what I'm saying? And what did it do? What did it do? It just brought nothing but violence. You know what I'm saying? You see, right? This is Judith chapter 5, verse 17. Because remember, you know, even though it goes into Esau and stuff on this that I'm finna grab, right? The thing is that the other heathens and stuff was on the same thought process as Esau, Edom. They was confederate. I mean, they teamed up together and stuff. We all gonna do this, right? So to all the heathens, all 17 nations of the heathens and stuff, in a various different tribes and whatnot, who are not Israelites but full blood and spirited heathens. You know what I'm saying, right? Wanted us to not know who we were and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Uh, 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 so we won't be connected to our power. But look what happened. You know what I'm saying? Following their ways, you know what I'm saying, brought more violence. You see? Right? So this is this is no this is Ezekiel 35. Israel have made wickedness and stuff their rest, like it says in Micah 2 and 10. You know what I'm saying, right? Right. It says I'm gonna start at verse 5. It says Ezekiel 35 and 5. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, the guns of the sword. It says, in the time of their calamity and the time that their iniquity had an end. It says, therefore, as I live, save the Lord power, Yahweh, right? It says, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Sif thou has not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Meaning judgment. You know what I'm saying? Right? Here it is and stuff. They wanted to take the nation of Israel out of remembrance and whatnot and stuff, and they prevailed at that and stuff. But now look what the backdrop is. You know what I'm saying? It shows that their ways bring forth violence because all they taught was the nation of Israel, their ways. So what did it do? It didn't make anything better. It made stuff worse. You see, right? That's why the Lord said, "Do not touch the apple of His eye, man." You know what I'm saying, right? So this is Judith 5 and 17. It says, and whilst they sinned not before their power, they prospered because the power that hateth iniquity was with them. You see, right? Right? And that's what they want to sever. You know what I'm saying? Because ultimately Esau even wants to get back the blessing, and he thinks that if he can cut off Israel and stuff, then the blessing would just be up for grabs. Nah, it's too late. That was a one done thing. And for all you Edomites and you full blooded spirited Caucasian stuff, no matter who you are and stuff or what you call yourself by citizenship across this world, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you can't blame us. Blame your forefather Esau. You see? Right? Verse 18, it says, but when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles, very sore, and were led captives into the land that was not theirs, and the temple of their power was cast to the ground, and their cities were taken by the enemies. Verse 19, but now are they returned to their power, and are come up from the places where they were scattered, and have possessed Jerusalem, where their sanctuary is, and are seated in the hill country, for it was desolate. Verse 20, it says, now therefore, my Lord and Governor, right? Going back to Psalms 83, you know what I'm saying? They confederate with each other and stuff, right? To put the nation of Israel out of remembrance, right? It says, if there be any error against this people and they sin against their power, let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up and we shall overcome them. You see, right? So that's the overcome, but look what the overcome has brought. You know what I'm saying? It shows that your own ways is wrong. You know what I'm saying? You see, you know, because all you did was increase violence. You know what I'm saying? Right? Now, this is a scripture that's gonna that's when that's preferred when it comes down to the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Right? When it comes down to the kingdom. This is what it says. It says Isaiah 16 and 18. You know, when we receive the second covenant, when the nation of Israel are going to be the forever rulers. You know what I'm saying? You know, amongst the forever rulers. You know what I'm saying? All throughout the all throughout the different solar systems that the Lord had created. You know what I'm saying? You know, right? Uh, um, that while we rule underneath the law, statute, commandments, underneath the second covenant, where we literally cannot break the law, statute, commandments, and stuff. You know what I'm saying, right? And we're gonna rule forever, and righteousness is gonna be in the earth and throughout the solar system, right? You know what I'm saying, right? It says, and this is also how you know that this is not the kingdom, because this is one of the promises that that the Lord the Lord had revealed onto Isaiah, which his name would be Yeshaya. You know what I'm saying? You know, Yahweh saves, right? Um, um, this is the prophecy that was going to happen. You know what I'm saying, right? Right? Which shows that anything outside of the law, statutes, commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahshai, you know what I'm saying, never works and never will prevail. You know what I'm saying, right? And will never actually bring true peace. You know what I'm saying, right? This is Isaiah 60 and 18. It says, violence shall no more be heard in thy land, wasting nor destruction within thy borders. But thou shalt call thy walls salvation and thy gates praise. You see, right? That's when we follow the laws, that's commandments. You know what I'm saying? This is Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 12. And it says, this is Deuteronomy 4, and I'm start at 5. I'm start at verse 1, then I'm skip to 5. It says Deuteronomy 4 and 1. It says, now therefore hearken, O Israel, right? Yasharala, he prince of the power, right? Including the princesses, which are the women. It says, unto the statutes and unto the judgments which I teach you, for to do them, that ye may live and go in, possess the land which the Lord Yahweh power of your fathers giveth you. Now I'm going to skip to verse 5. You know what I'm saying? You know, because look, we already seen what happens when you follow the ways of the heathen. Destruction come. You know what I'm saying? You know, uh, uh, um, gross darkness. You know what I'm saying? Blindness. You know what I'm saying? You know, here it is. You can bring forth all the proof and whatnot and stuff, and the person still wouldn't be able to receive it. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's what comes with this darkness, right? It says, verse 5, it says, behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my power commanded me. And it's talking about Moses. It says that ye should do so in the land, whether ye go to possess it. It says, keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations. Meaning that this wisdom that the Lord had gave to us and stuff, first and foremost, is a gift just like faith. You know what I'm saying? You know, but it's separate from the ways of the heathen, right? And we already just read in the Isaiah 60 and 18 and stuff that violence would no longer be heard. You know what I'm saying? You see? You know, you don't have to worry about drive-bys no more if we keep the law, statutes, commandments. You know what I'm saying? Which is going to come when the kingdom comes. First and foremost for the elect, the 144,000 and the rest of 1/3, no matter how they look. You know what I'm saying? Who are predestined to make it on the first go round. You see? Right? Right? It says Deuteronomy 4 and 6, it says, keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations. Right? It says, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. So they're going to be applauded. You know what I'm saying? You know, jealous, envious. You know what I'm saying? That our ways are better than stuff, and our ways actually brings forth peace. You know what I'm saying? You know, even when it come down to the land sappings and stuff, to give the land time to rest and stuff instead of just uh 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 pillaging it over and over and over and over again without no break. You know what I'm saying? Look what's happening and stuff. You know what I'm saying? The land can't really produce like it used to and whatnot. You see, right? Right? Overproduction and whatnot and stuff. It destroys. It doesn't make anything better. You know what I'm saying? Right? uh, verse verse 7, it says, "For what nation is there so great, who have the most high so nigh unto them, as the Lord our power is in all things that we call upon him for? And what nation is there so great, that has statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law, which I set before you this day?" So righteous means right, just, correct. You know what I'm saying? Right? And anything outside of that and stuff, which which the heathen nations and stuff wanted bestowed upon us, and raise new generations up in that stead and whatnot and stuff, right? What's happened and stuff is just brought nothing but calamity and destruction. You know what I'm saying, right? It says it says It says, verse 9, it says, "Only take heed to thyself and keep thy soul diligently, lest, meaning that not thou forget the things which thy eyes have seen, and lest they depart from thy heart all the days of thy life, but teach them thy sons and thy sons' sons," and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So we wouldn't be in conflict with Yahweh Shem Yahshua. You know what I'm saying? And continue to prosper. So going back to Deuteronomy 10 and 12, it says, it says, "And now Israel, what doeth the Lord thy power require of thee, but to fear the Lord thy power, to walk in all his ways, and to love him." It says, "And to serve the Lord thy power with all thy heart and with all thy soul," which is also the first greatest commandment. Verse 13, it says, "To keep the commandments of the Lord and his statutes, which I command thee this day for thy good." And when you go into that word good, you know what I'm saying, it goes into the Hebrew word tawal, the ta, the wa, and the ba, tawal, which means good, prosperity, you know what I'm saying, success, you see, you know. But look what's happening and stuff. Look what happened when you follow the ways of the heathen. So, for all you heathens out there and stuff, you know what I'm saying, doing your no matter how vast your different tribes is and whatnot and stuff, right? You wanted the nation of Israel and stuff to follow your ways, and your ways been proven not to be right. So I hope this video was edifying. I like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahshua Harakakadash. Double honors to apostles, a great millstone, and salutations to the elect, which you hope to be. Shalom, wa ba ba ba, Kwan Yasharala.